And politically, though, as the Keystone thing came out, we had the opposition here bring up talking things that Rachel Notley said in 2015, which were not in support of the Keystone pipeline, which was because, Graham, it was jobs going to the US, right?
Well, yeah, the thing is about the Keystone XL is that the NDP's never been really keen on the Keystone XL for a couple of reasons. They didn't campaign in favor of it because they saw it being tied up in US politics, and they could see, this is a few years ago, Obama vetoing that pipeline. So they thought there's no point in promoting this pipeline because there's also shipping jobs south into the US. This is raw bitumen. But it's interesting, Kenny had a news conference this week to really slam Notley. He had Rob Merrifield there, former federal minister who became Alberta's agent under Jim Prentice in Washington.
Yes.
But anyway, Kenny said, Notley and the DP always have been against pipelines, always against them. In fact, here's a quote from Notley in 2015 in May, quote, when it comes to Keystone XL, we're against it. That's a quote, we're against it.
Graham's doing air quotes around we're against it.
But now the thing is, you go back and look at the quote, and it was on the CBC, Evan Solomon's show, May 2nd, 2015. Notley said on Keystone XL, we're against it as it currently stands because currently it'd be shipping jobs out of Alberta. It's important to keep jobs here in Alberta. And so she was not saying I'm against pipelines. She's saying I'm against pipelines that ship jobs out. Now you could say she wanted to have more upgrading in Alberta. You could say, well, right now she's in favor of Keystone XL. She's a hypocrite. Well, no, things have changed. No one's building upgraders. But back then, they were thinking in terms of they'd be supporting Keystone if it actually had upgraded the bitumen first. But she wasn't just saying, we're against it, we're against pipelines. And
well,
so
because her pet pipeline was Energy East.
Energy East and the expansion of Trans Mountain.
Once Energy East failed, then support for Keystone XL becomes much more politically expedient.
Well, beggars can't be choosers when it comes to pipelines at this point. And so things have changed in the last 2 years.
But Kenny's use of that quotation, it was a little bit like, when you see a rave review for a movie and it's 3 words long, and then you go back and look at the whole review in context and you think, oh, this reviewer actually didn't like this movie. You've chosen this 3 or 4 word phrase. Kenny is getting a reputation for torquing in a way like this that is really, it's petty and it's stupid, right? Because he could have used the full quotation to say, well, she sent mixed signals and she's changed her mind. That's a fair criticism that she's saying something different now than she did in 2015. But the thing that she said that was different is not the thing that he said that she said.
And you're right. I think it's enough things he can say about the NDP to attack them and criticize them. There's enough ammunition out there. But he always seems to take it one step further and exaggerate it. And so we end up having to fact check it, and then we end up having to say, well, hold on for a second. And then the story becomes, at least in my mind, a lot of ways, fact checking Jason Kenney as opposed to the actual issue he's trying to talk about.
And